All right, now we're recording. Hey, you. Uh, I just realized how stupid that sounded. Ah. Uh, it is indeed a nice song. Um, Interesting for you to be tapping in at about 5 p.m. my time. I don't know what time it is for you, but like, I'm glad you're here because like, I have not streamed for about a week, so why are you awake? Um, Frankly, I shouldn't even be questioning why you're awake. I never go to bed at a reasonable hour, so ugh. I just wanted to play Foxhole and um just explain why I haven't streamed in like a week. But uh after stream chilling and no work tomorrow. Nice. Effectively, that's what it's like for me, except I'm currently waiting to get interviewed for a job because I happened to quit my job at Walmart, which I will get to explaining eventually once I actually get settled in what I'm going to do. Uh, this is also part of the reason why I haven't streamed in a week. It's so that I could like get somewhat good at this game, so that I wouldn't suck at it while playing. I also figured that listening to industrial metal would help me lock in, as the kids say. I think I'm right, walking the right way. Yes, I am. Understandable. Yeah. Yep. uh, let's see. They have a Dune load lugger. They have a dowsing engine, a Highlander. You know what? I think I will get a pack mule, considering I have to go on a resource run. Because like I'm in a regiment as we speak, and they need plasma, so I need to go get basic materials, otherwise known as BMATs, by literally everyone in this game, and then turn it into blood plasma, which is just delightful. Let's quickly do that. Okay, that's been assembled. Um, Loading area is blocked. Crap. Let's quickly do this. Wait, I heard. I don't know why that made me cackle. Hmm. I need to pack this. Forgot I needed to pack this. What the? I already have a shipping container? Is that this guy's? I'm gonna check. Yo, is this your shipping container?
Yes, can you help me? I'm new to this game and I don't know how to open this hatch here to load this stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to do this either because I'm kind of new.
Okay, we are two idiots, I guess.
I'll figure it out, maybe.
Well, yeah, you can put this container on the other vehicles, but I don't know how to put that in there. I see others doing.
Me trying to figure out how to get on the ship.
Here, look.
Got it.
You can
Alright.
go up here and then, yeah, you can do the captain or the spotter and somewhere is auch passenger seat.
Well, I still have no idea. It is a bit of a risky game to stream, but some nice guys. It's $30, but it's pretty worth it. It's pretty worth it.
Maybe I have to drive it next to the harbor,
Uh,
but I need some gasoline here.
you know what? I'm looking it up.
Coming. Oh no.
It is an extremely unique game. Okay. Must be in driver's seat, press F key. It's the spotter. Figured it out!
How did you do that?
You must be in the driver's seat and press F.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
No problem. It took one Google search later, you know?
Wow. Okay.
Me just resorting to Google, be like, eh.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
No
Yeah.
problemo. Don't get jumped. That's all I'm gonna say. Do not get jumped.
Okay.
Google is the best assistance. Yes, yes. Especially when you're just learning how to play a game. It is so freaking helpful. Alright. You know what? Just walk around the truck. Grab some diesel. Equip it. And then let's load up our pack mule. Get closer to the truck. Okay, let's grab some more fuel for the road. Just want to have this thing have a full tank. Okay. Now, let's go scrooping. No, I did not pronounce that incorrectly. That is what they call it. They call it scrooping, not scrapping, scrooping. Because in the beta version of this game, well, not beta, just early version of the game, they would censor out the word crap. So they had to figure out some way to communicate, so they just started calling it scrooping. And I think that's hilarious. Scooper. Yeah. That is mostly my job. They say they also need... What did they say they needed? Time to... They also needed 250 mil shells. Yeah, that's too much. Because that requires me refining basic materials into reinforced materials, or whatever they're called, or refined, or something like that. Then getting explosive powder, which I'm not going to craft by myself because it takes too long. And then putting both of those together to make a shell that takes infinitely longer to make than it should, and blah blah blah. You don't need to hear this because you're not playing yet. Yeah. Because this game is genuinely fun. I love it to death, but Lord have mercy, do things take forever to do. Like, you literally have to do everything by hand, which is nice in its own respect, but have you had to run a train with two guys, and that's it? Like a full, like, train, like, one on one end, one on the other, so that you can go both ways easier? Have to make sure that there's coal in it, have to make sure that all the lanes are switched, unloading the stuff and loading the stuff with just two guys, it's nuts. Completely nuts. I think it was yesterday that I did a 4-hour, like, training run for trains that we were just going back and forth, loading and unloading supplies. And that was all we did for 4 hours straight. It was fun, but most of the time I just spent just on my phone playing Bejeweled. Because I was the secondary driver that would just move it forward, move the train forward a little bit so that we could unload. My trains run with more man, but that is up for me. Bruh. I think there's a scrap field somewhere near here. Yeah, it's all the way down there. Yay. How do I... Back. I don't think I can hide this, which is unfreaking fortunate. Oops. I hope that the scrap field has a crane that I can unload my truck. Like, get the resource crate out. Did I take a wrong turn? I almost did. Not quite yet. Gotta turn here. I will say that I would be listening to Dire Straits' Money for Nothing while playing this game if it wasn't for, like, you know, copyright. Because that song just goes so well with driving a truck while hammering out crap. It's amazing. Anyway, as I was planning on saying, um, I have recently quit my job. If you could separate audio tracks, you could play any music. Yeah, I could, but I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out eventually. But anyhow, recently I quit my job, and in the process of quitting my job, I was just like, you know what? I need to take a week to myself so I can prepare for the inevitable crash and burn that's gonna happen on my last day, which happened to be a Saturday. So, like, I streamed once on Tuesday, got 0 viewers, was just like, you know what? Streaming is not gonna help me poop. So I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna focus on getting through these last few days and just stream the next week. And so that I can make up for all those missed streams, I'm going to be streaming today, tomorrow, and Thursday. But Friday and maybe Saturday, depending on how I'm feeling, I will not be streaming because I'm going to a music festival on Friday. And I do not know how tired I'm going to be on Saturday because my body does not like being submitted to extreme strain while listening to music. Musical Fast W, indeed. Indeed! If I could do the actual voice, I would be doing it. But I kind of hurt my voice today, so singing or doing high-pitched voices kind of hurty. What is that? What is that symbol? You know what? I'm gonna not worry about it, and I'm gonna just go into the scrap field. Job hunting is a pain. Ironically enough, I put in an email to 2 places. They never got back to me. But the third place I put into, they immediately sent me like an automated text back of like, we want to set up an interview. And it's just like, okay. You must be desperate. But honestly, I'll take anything. Because I want money. Oh. That's nice. Yeah, it is. It is amazing that I was able to get a job interview that quick. Is there Crane? If so, where is Crane? Wow. That that power plant's been through some things. Where is Crane? After this Friday, I have to go jump hunting. What can you do? What can you do? We're both effectively in the same boat. So, except I just have to wait for an interview, so. I'm hoping you're able to get a job quick and not have to spend, like, hours just freaking out about having to pay rent. I don't know why I said that out loud, but, like. Uh. Where is Crane? Did they take the crane? Please don't tell me they seriously. Hoodoo. I can't use this scrap field because of the truck I have. My current job paid well, so in a few months, the time. Okay. At least that's something. And then there's me. I was working a retail job. I need something. You know? Like, I have money, but I really don't want to spend it. If that makes sense. Kinda. Maybe. Anyway. Time to find another scrooping field. Let's quickly check to see if this place I'm heading towards is getting bombarded. Luckily, no. At the moment. Wait. Oh, there's partisans over there. Crap. Okay. Gotta go down a little farther. Yeah, it feels bad when all the money goes to bills. Yep. Luckily, I don't have any bills to pay other than for my my phone. So, like, that's nice. But, like, I don't want to go through all my money and, like, just spending it. So I need a place for... I need a reason for me to be saving money. Like, I have rent, but my mom said she's not going to charge me rent until I have a job again. But my father is like... Young man, you need to find a job. And I'm like, as soon as I got this interview, it was just like, ugh. But I hope you're trying to... Yeah. Me too. Me too. But ironically enough, the place I'm getting interviewed for is Staples. And it happens to be right next to Walmart. So, I find that absolutely hilarious. But I've also been told that Staples is an awesome place to work because of the benefits. Hopefully I get the benefits because I'm only getting hired for a part-time position because that's the only position they had open. But I'm going to ask them, is there a possible way for me to be able to, like, move up to full-time? Well, if they can't offer me that, I'm probably not going to take the job. But we'll just have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Can I scale this? Can I scale this? Yes, I can. Okay. Where's the scrap field? Okay, I'm getting closer to it. Okay, they have this thing tacked down. Here I am looking for part-time only. Bruh. I just want to be able to actually have, what's the word? Sustainable income and sustainable hours. So that I'm not getting, like, 24 hours one week and then, like, 30 hours the next, then 20 the week after that, if you know what I mean. Like, I want a consistent schedule. Because my sleep schedule has been completely thrown because of my schedule at Walmart. Like, they'd be scheduling me like 21 hours and then 30 and then 36 and then back down to like 24. And it's just like, not the best scheduling regimen, especially when I already have insomnia. And considering that the only time I'd be able to have an available shift would be afternoon, evening, I'd usually be getting home at around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So, not great. Not great. But there's other reasons why I quit, and frankly, I'm not going to get into it because that's just throwing shade, and that's not professional. And I'm not going to do that. Because who knows? Someone could just see this and see me talking crap on Walmart and how it's an awful place to work, and that would make it almost impossible for me to find a job if that were to get, let's say, put on YouTube. Not a great image on my part. So, had that as well when I was a security officer. 28-hour shifts are, ugh. Ugh. Especially when it's like late. Like, no, no, no. Okay, there is a crane. But can I get my truck over here? What is this setup? Crane found, yeah, yeah. Okay, I need to go retrieve my truck. Where's my truck? It's through this gate, I think. Oh, balls. Come on. If you didn't see when I was logging in, like, to Foxhole, this war has supposedly, like, 600,000 individual players, and each of them serves a role, which is insane to my head, to my figuring. Like, everyone being dedicated to either one side or the other on just a war is nuts, especially considering that each individual person has some part to play. Where do I park this truck? Son of gun. Yeah, apparently. But that's including anyone that's, like, abusing alternate accounts. So, I don't know how many people that is. So, by my guessing, it's probably closer to 300,000. And that's being generous, frankly. So, where'd I find the crane? Where'd I find the crane? I walk fast green. And I don't even have shadow play, so I could check where that was. I have, if you haven't realized, I have horrible, what's the word? Object permanence. Like, I cannot remember where anything is sometimes. There it is, okay. Nearly about to have a heart attack. What do you mean by deployed? Oh, got it. Oh. What was the button I hit for that? It's F. Okay. Cool. Top-down games have that effect on people. I mean in literally every game. Like, something as, like, first person as Destiny 2, I would get lost. Because my object permanence sucked. Then again, Destiny 2 is not exactly the greatest example because of how large the maps are sometimes. Frankly, I uninstalled the game because it was too much. It's too much for my my smooth marble brain to handle sometimes. Okay. Okay. Just gonna back the truck. Just gonna back the truck up. All my B, bro. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. There's no problems. It, when it comes down to it, my object permanence for other people's things, great. When it comes to my things, no. I can remember where my mother left her keys and her purse and her water bottle, but as soon as I try to find my keys, my backpack, my wallet, it's just like, nope, nothing happening. Nope. Which is why I just keep my wallet in a pair of pants where I will always know where they're at. Same thing with my keys. Right. Yeah, you can the crane arm becomes irrelevant in the whole scenario because it just clips through everything so that you can maneuver easier. Which honestly, it's a pretty nice feature. Having standard place for things helps a lot. Yes. Oh, Lord of mercy, yes it does. Door blocked. Huh? Now let me get out. Now we get out our hammer. And this is where I turn on my auto clicker. Because I ain't clicking. Function over realism. Yep. And considering this is a war sim, you kind of need function over realism. In some areas. However, realism in this goes to an absurd degree. When it comes to, like, the scale of what you need. However, the realism gets a little broken once you realize that you need literally, they call it basic materials. They look like steel bars. And you can turn them into shirts, you can turn them into bandages, you can turn them into blood plasma, you can turn them into medical kits, you can turn them into guns, bullets. The list kind of goes on. So, it gets a little goofy sometimes. But the amount of things you need to make, like, a set amount of things is absurd. Which is why there's some realism with the scale scaling. Kind of repeating myself a little bit every once in a while. Up. Oh, I have rare metal too. Submit all the stockpile. Okay. We're gonna be, like, collecting a lot of scrap for a while. Because this thing could hold 5,000 pieces of scrap. I feel it's important to make the fun part realistic and the other things that don't really matter be goofy. And that's kind of how it works. Except that, this is a top-down game where you can pilot boats, as you saw, tanks, cars, and planes. I haven't seen them in action. I'm afraid to look it up on YouTube. But, like, it feels like it would be super goofy, considering that you would have to have, like, 2 gunners, a pilot, a co-pilot, and other people doing things on the plane. You'd have to have, like, 6 people doing things on, like, a bomber. So how long would it take to make the thing? Yes, planes. Actual planes. It drives... It's so nuts. It is so nuts. Like, I don't know how they got it to work. But frankly, I know better than to question the, I know better than to question this game more often than not. Because you will go insane thinking about it. The one thing that gets me in this game is the fact that you can mine, well, gather, I should say. You can gather salvage, otherwise known as scrap, rare metal, sulfur, coal, granite, and, like, literally everything that needs to be hit to be collected with a hammer or a sledgehammer to gather it, as opposed to, like, a pickaxe. There is a sledgehammer, which effectively is just a better hammer, but, like, that's the only other gathering tool. Like, confused? Like, I get that sledgehammers are good for breaking things, but not like, you know, mining ore out of a rock or stuff like that, unless you just bash it to bits. I keep doing the goof. Submit all the stockpile. Okay. Hammer's omnipotent. Okay, that's okay, that's fun. I like that. I like that. Uh uh, And I'm gonna have to find something to keep the stream interesting once I have to take these down to the refinery and turn, like, what's gonna be like 3,000 and some scrap into basic materials. It's gonna get very boring for a while, and I hope that doesn't kill the mood. Hope. Reading the chat in this game. Where is Midline Choo Choo? Because yes, there's also trains in this, like I have said, and they're super fun to run. They're super fun to run. And I know a couple train nerds, and once I started nerding about the fact that there were trains in this, they're like, are you okay? Because I'm not known to, like, nerd out about things like that. But I'm like, yo, bro, it's like it's a 062 little goober that runs on coal and steam. And they're looking at me like, are you well? Because that's our job to nerd about. Why are you nerding out about it? Stop. You're scaring us. And I was so happy that they got weirded out. Because they've like constantly been trying to get me to enjoy the concept of trains and training and stuff like that. But it's always just been like, no. And then run train in a video game. Train nerding, yes. Yes, indeed. Oh. Did we get rare metal or did... No? Okay. Just must have just been a salvage heap breaking. Time to get the water. Oh, rare metal. Gonna. Okay, we still got room for. Still got room for scrap. Sorry. Maybe this will have rare metal. Just meh. I have to know. No. Okay. Time to one sec. Okay, yeah, this can only carry like salvage materials, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to transport all those materials. And I really don't want to steal one of these guys' trucks, because that would not be very cash money of me. Forgot to pack the shipping container. Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to keep track of. It against the trucker code. Yeah. You just don't take things that aren't yours. It's just kind of period. Especially, like, what's it? You can touch my wife, you can touch my beer, you don't touch my truck. Something like that. I don't know, bro. It's a country song that I never listened to fully. So I don't know all the lyrics. And frankly, you won't catch me dead listening to it because I don't really like country that much. Ah, controversial opinion. Ah, really? There are only like a couple of country songs that are good, in my opinion. And I don't listen to them that often to begin with. Okay. Now let's undeploy this. And then get this crane out of the way so that these guys can move their trucks later. Got to do a 7-point turn. Crap. Get stuck on the scrap harvesters. So, gonna quickly Can quickly deploy this so it's like I found it and get out. Because that prevents newbies from stealing it. Johnny Cash and Dead South for country, yeah. It's about right. About the same for me. Because if you say Johnny Cash is bad, you're lying. There's just no two ways about it. Hold on a minute. I'm close to a X with a refinery, right? It's over there. So I gotta go back around and over that bridge. Man is a legend. All I gotta say, just aggressive head nodding. If I keep doing that, I'm gonna give myself a headache. Oh my word. There's partisans. I just gotta go. I 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 gotta go. Yo, I think there's partisans back there. They're shooting at my truck.
Yeah, no, yeah, I saw that. Wait, was it only you that made it up? I saw one.
Yeah, it's because there was only me.
They're going up, hey, keep going.
Got it. Moving. Thank you. I'm glad that there's people just around that can help protect you. It's a nice part of this game. And a nice young lad. What a nice young lad, yeah. He didn't sound particularly young, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he was incredibly nice. It's just like, go, 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 because he started shooting at me again. I will say I've been particularly lucky from getting partisaned. Partisans are people in vehicles that will like drive around into enemy lines and cut off supply lines or logistic runs, as they're called in this game. And they will either one, steal your stuff, or two, destroy your stuff. Typically they'll steal it, but some of them are insane and will just flat out blow it up. So you just gotta be careful and always have a gun on you with some ammo. And even then, that won't usually save you unless you have, like, 2 other people with you. Usually. So, honestly, considering I've been by myself and I haven't gotten anything stolen or destroyed, very lucky. Well, except for that one time where I tried to get out to kill an enemy player, and he hopped into my car because I forgot to lock it, and then ran me over with my own car, which was great, fun. Yeah, yeah. I was very disappointed in myself, but I was also laughing at the same time, just like, truck! Then again, if I had locked it, there was no way of saying that he didn't have a wrench and would just unlock it anyway. Like, after he killed me in hand-to-hand combat. I don't think I've explained the two sides in this war. It's the Colonials versus the Wardens. And I was just like, oh, I'm new to this game. I'm just gonna click on the one I can go into because apparently the Colonials, their servers were kind of full. And I'm like, all right, guess I'm going with Wardens. And I clicked into Wardens, and it was like everyone was like calling the Colonials Nazis, and I'm like, what? Excuse me? And then I heard that then I was told that there was lore to this game, and it's just like, it's fascist versus communist, and I just happen to be playing on the communist side. So either way, it would have been not too great, but thankfully it's only for flavor purposes and not, actual world belief. Indeed, good RP! I don't know how many times, like, I've been on the front line and just heard someone go, in, like, their most just strained voice possible. Bruh. They're getting into character. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot to unpack my stuff. If you get into that... Okay. I really hope that that name does not get me, like, struck on YouTube. Because that seems very, very, like a very dangerous name to have. Um... Just gonna... Ooh, this is gonna take a while. Okay. It's gonna take like 13 minutes to make all of those. That's gonna... Uh, that's gonna take a minute. Uh... Which side you good, but YouTube, I wouldn't know. Fair. Oh, I am parking on the train tracks. Gotta back up a little bit. Get out of the way. Hmm. Let's quickly... pick those out. Package. Why? Why have I done this? Okay. Does this side have a crane? Okay, this side does have a crane. Okay, that guy just has a bike. I forgot that those exist. I don't know how you get them, but it seems like it'd be hilarious to have. The train's not moving, so I'ma just... I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving. Give me a sec. Thankfully, he can't hear me because I don't have my push to talk on. Train, not training. Okay. Now we take this truck over here. And then... Move it over here. And then submit. And then I think we have to get out a shipping container. Yeah, shipping container. Quickly. Let's quickly. Yeah, please tell me this thing can carry B-mats. Well, let's just check here. Well, I am having much trouble seeing. Oh, okay. Steel construction. It can carry basic. Okay, cool. Can it carry rare? It cannot carry rare metals, so I'm just gonna be walking around with rare metals in my pocket, hoping they don't get stolen. Cool. Rapper's life, bro? I'm not sure what you're saying that to, so you're gonna have to explain, because I may or may have forgotten exactly what I said. This is what happens when you try to give up, um, 3 individual substances at once. Your memory goes... Ugh. Rare metals on you, you don't want to get stolen. Yeah. Yep. Got it. Chains on me be like... Uh, oh, train coming through. Gotta move. Not my truck. I need to move it back. Corporal, you almost got ran over. Bro just starts crouching at me. I'm gonna just go into the loading dock for now. Milk crashing, hitting you. Got it. I'm out of it today. Okay, just give me time. I'll figure it out. I'm not used to not being at work, so I haven't had to turn on work mode, as I call it, which just focuses on do work, go home. So it's just like I have time to be lethargic and do absolutely nothing with my day. So it's just like my brain has no reason to work, so it's not going to. So it's just like I have no idea what I said 2 seconds ago. Okay, someone made shirts. Okay, so they still need blood plasma. How much longer? We still got about 4 minutes left on those. The other question is, should I steal other basic materials? Only a little bit. Only a little bit. Because they're just sitting there. Can't stop me. But I still need to leave some for other people that have to, like, make other logistic runs for other things. So I'm not going to be that guy and just steal everything. But I need, like, 40 crates of blood plasma, so I'm going to be stealing some. Because 40 crates of blood plasma is a tall order. If I'm being completely honest. And then while I'm at it, I might make some other things, like... if I find some heavy explosive powder, I might make some shells. I don't know. How do you make heavy explosive powder? I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna pull up the wiki. Foxhole wiki. Let's quickly add to home screen. Add. Okay. Production. Hopefully no one just ran me over. Okay, we got supply flow, stuff like that. Production materials. Okay. Okay, sulfur to make heavy explosive powder. So I could go on a sulfur run. It's just forever borrowing the supplies. It's not stealing, it's just forever borrowing them and never giving them back. But that's stealing. It's about the mindset and phrasing, really. Hit him with that Rick Sanchez type logic. Ugh. Morty! Rome wasn't built in a day, Morty! It was about two brothers fighting about how tall to make the walls. And stuff. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, Morty. I'm older than you. I'm your grandpa. It's just the way you look at it. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Okay, now I need to get in my truck and then back her up and around. Then use the refinery. Woo! Someone's unloading. Ate your pancake. Cake! I should not have done that. I should not have said that. I should not have said that. Okay. Unpack this. Which means I have to take it off the truck. Must have been the wind. Maybe he'll drive off. He punched his car before getting into it. I always find that hilarious. Okay, gonna quickly... Too far to interact with. I have to drive my truck over! Pinky car that it is. Ow! Went to do a face palm and my wrist cracked. Ow! Cool. Cool. Love it when that happens. Okay. How... Okay. So I gotta... I think I gotta package it. Is... Okay, bro is not at the train anymore. I gotta pick it up. Put it down. And then that'll let me put stuff from the refinery into this thing. Okay, cool. Get some... So I am not going to be taking extras. Unless... I gotta move my truck. I'm gonna over encumber myself a little bit. Hopefully no one steals my shipping crate. People keep trying to get into my truck. Pack. Submit stockpile. Okay. Okay. And then at 16. So we gotta package it. Package. Yeah, like I said, everything has to be done by hand, and it takes forever to do that. Which is delightful. Sometimes. Hopefully my truck's close enough. It's not. I gotta get out of my truck. Get in this truck. Get back over here. Time to go to a factory. Now, get to a factory, I have to find one on the map, and I forgot where I'm closest to a factory. So let's quickly... Is it like... Okay, that's a storage depot. Where's the factory? There's a factory in Fairmore, so I gotta drive right. Ugh. Wee, 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 wee. Keep looking at that, I'm gonna get sick. Ugh. Speed. Fine sauce, you genius. And hooligan. Time to drive. Honk. Yes. Donk indeed. The fact that it's taken me over an hour to do this logistics run is both accurate and painful. Otherwise known as painfully accurate. Considering I'm doing it by myself. With the same amount of time and like 10 more people, you'd be able to crank out a lot more. I took a wrong turn. Love it when I do that. And Lord knows I would be playing Serialim today if it wasn't for me finding Foxhole. Because, like, I saw a YouTube video of just, like, Rubik's Raptor, if you've ever heard of that, if anyone's ever heard of that, besides me, play, like, one video's worth of Foxhole, and I'm like, that looks hilarious. I'm gonna play. I have now regretfully put in over 24 hours into this game, and I've been playing for 5 days? Maybe? So it's basically just Serialim all over again. And I don't know how to feel about that. Seems reasonable, yeah. But sometime this week, I do want to play Serialim. But, like, dragging myself away from Foxhole is going to be trying. I'm gonna put it that way. I want to open the gate. I want to open the gate. Thank you. Not bunker base, gate. Think I'm close? Yes. Hyperfixation acquired. Yes. I'm still deciding whether or not it's a good one. Okay, that one, I think I need to move the truck a little closer. Please tell me this thing is unlocked. Okay. 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 Production, select. So, this is to make vehicles. What I meant to do. Maybe I should take it over to bike. No. The bike is so freaking, like, it looks funny, it looks interesting to use, but it also looks so useless for transportation. Because, like, for one, it would be slower than a truck. Probably. And two, if you're trying to transport things from one end to another, like, more than just yourself, it's kind of not handy for that. So, fair. Unfortunately fair. As funny as it would be to use, I cannot justify using it for anything other than reconnaissance. And I don't like doing reconnaissance. I like banging piles of scrap into things I can use. I need to get back into the thing. Pull this up. Banging. Yep. Unfortunately, yes. Don't know why I pulled it. Unable to move when deployed. Hopefully I can get around my truck. this down. See what this thing's for. It's a stockpile. Okay, let's just get out of the crane. And then walk around. Use factory. Oh, they need to use the crane. Okay. Retrieve. Retrieve. This container can only be unloaded at storage. Sun. Okay. Well, I can't even move it now. Ow. Got ran over by crane. Pain. Yeah. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. I know there's a seaport nearby, so I'll have to unload it there, turn in my mule, get a logistics truck, if there is one, or I make a logistics truck, because that's why that's there, I assume. I need to borrow this crane again. But he's using it right now, so I'm going to have to wait. But might as well go grab my shipping container. Or, well, okay, no. He's probably going to need it to get that thing off and back onto his truck. So I'm just going to have to wait. I'm going to have to sit down and just wait. Zoom in on me squatting. What's it? Come on. Break time? Yeah, break time. That immediately reset my camera position. Did not know you could do that. Well, Lieutenant Jim Tangle. Okay, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I like that. Probably stop crouching. Huh? I was like, where'd he go? Turns out he was just packaging the thing. Honestly, I should probably move my truck out of the way. Still kind of in the road, but not as bad. Let's walk over, grab the crane. Gotta make sure I get in the right door. Whoops. Well, that's not too far. Wait. Why did I do that? What? Resource transfer station shipping container. There we go. Package. It is a necessary part of every logistics run to have an actual breakdown while trying to get a shipping container, I guess. This is my first time doing a logistics run with a pack mule as opposed to a dune transport, which is what literally everyone calls a logi truck. For reasons I still don't know why, other than they're just used for logistics runs a lot. It kind of does make sense, frankly. Like, doing it with Logi trucks is its own type of headache as opposed to using a pack mule. Because, like, there's headaches involved with doing it with a logistics truck. But it's a lot more of a headache to do it with a pack mule. Which is why I'm starting to reconsider my my judgment. Dune Landrunner. Can I... It's a motor pool, fireman, Spitfire, material pallet, my back. I need construction materials. Okay, there is that. So I can make a Landrunner. Center truck fitted with off-road treads, allowing for more efficient movement through rough terrain. Okay. Okay. I have to go... Okay. Thank you. Have a good night. Get sleep. Maybe. Okay, so I need a Dune Land Raider as a start. What kind of Dune transport do I need for that? Okay. I need Dune transport truck base. Hopefully they have a truck. Go through the gates. I'm going the wrong way. Why do I do this to myself? They have a Dune transport. Loading area is blocked. Let's quickly fix that. Let's move this thing forward. Put some gas in it. If there is gas here. Should be gas here. Unless I am sadly mistaken. Place for petrol, but all the petrol's gone. Weird. I'm gonna see if there's any in here. Should probably go into the thing that's marked fuel. Unpack. I have gas that I forgot about. But I want to have a full tank. Is this a little wasteful? Yes. Do I want to do this efficiently? Also yes. So, it's a battle of wills, I guess. Am I going the right way? Okay, just have a little further to go. Out here. I should probably, for using this, this thing takes petrol, doesn't it? Change fuel. Okay, so I can refuel this thing a little bit. Forgot to pack the thing. How many times am I going to forget to pack the shipping container? Mud must remove? What do you mean mud must be removed? What do you mean mud? I'm confused. Mud must be removed first. Time to look this up. Remove mud. Okay. Players can walk on non-muddy surfaces, swim in water, or use water-based items like a fire engine or bucket and water to cleanse themselves or vehicles. Okay. Is there a water bucket nearby that I can borrow? Maintenance supplies. Why do I do this to myself? It'll be what it'll be. no, I'm not going to drive this into the seaport. I just want to take this over to the seaport and see if there's like something I can, some kind of like water thing I can douse this thing with. So like a bucket of water, oil, aluminum, basic. This is not great. Oh shit. I think. Oh, alright, what is it? It's a canoeer. That's funny. It's blocked. Smart. So I'm backing this thing up. Getting out. Running all the way back. Putting my shipping crate on the mule. And then unloading the crates onto the dune transport. Because I have no way of removing mud to get a better truck. So it'll be what it'll be. Met all the stockpile, and then I forgot to submit the thing to the seaport. Okay, gotta... I don't know why I did that. Can't really come up with any interesting dialogue, so I'm just going to talk about exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting it. Why are there's 344 shipping containers in there now. Holy. There's a Leary snare trap. Interesting. A dune transport crate. Interesting. Interesting. Get out of there. Get in the pack mule. Can I get off of the... Okay. Guess I'm going around. Head here. Submit. Vehicle must be repaired first. Good. Well, I guess this thing's just going off to the side. I don't know. Because I have no way of repairing it. So just sit here and wait for Shakespeare to move. There we go. So that's as far as it's going. Unlock it and get out. Get in here. Why did I get in the... Okay. I need to get into the truck. Get in here. Take out some crates of bee mats that I put in here. And then take them to the factory so that I can make plasma. And then quickly unpack. Open. That was close. Okay, so blood plasma, blood plasma, blood plasma, blood plasma. How do you queue up more? To queue more than 4 at factory. You cannot. Unless you're using like a mass production factory. Got it. Okay. What else do they need made? Okay, so I'm just gonna worry about the plasma. So this was a and now we just sit here and wait and make a bunch of blood plasma. Lovely. And groove out to music. Where do bikes come from? Pretty sure you make them, brother. Oh, not the shipping crate. Okay, I'm gonna have to take out the pack mule and the shipping crate because I realized if you just take and leave the I took out the basic materials, and now if I just make a bunch of plasma and then put it on to the shipping container, get all 40, get the pack mule, boom. So, okay. Lock this, get out, go grab the pack mule. Well, specifically the pack mule I left here. Get inside, lock the thing, switch seats, move it forward, get out, get a shipping container. Just the friggin' thing. I don't know how many times I'm gonna do that. Don't drive it into the river. The heck? Scare the ever living daylights out of me. Get out. Inventory. To unpackage the shipping container. Takes a little longer because I'm over encumbered. Need to stockpile. 4. Get in truck. Why did I... Okay, those are done. Queue up 4 more. Wrong thing. One, two. Stockpile. Submit. It's H. Not the most efficient system I could be using, but it's definitely better than nothing. I forgot to queue up the blood plasma. Are you kidding me? I cannot find anything to talk about. I should probably just do some research on how to actually play Foxhole. Okay, there's lore. The lore of Foxhole is not presented as a clear narrative, but must be pieced together through numerous hidden lore pieces, landmarks, and stories both in and outside the game. Due to this, there is a lot of room for theorizing and personal interpretation. Understanding of the lore is also prone to drastically change as new pieces of information are revealed. The purpose of this wiki is to give a clear and objective view of the lore, but may become outdated if not properly kept. It is also recommended to check the sources yourself and form your own ideas. For those wishing to engage in debate and discussion with other people, there exists a dedicated lore channel to the Foxhole official Discord. Interesting. As a disclaimer, Foxhole's timeline is fictional and no character, faction, or event is made to directly parallel real-world history. Doesn't stop people from calling each other communists and Nazis. Interesting. It gives you an interactive map of where all the lore is placed. Chronicle of Ashes. Introduction. Okay. Chronicle of Ashes is a collection of stories which take place before the events taking place in Foxhole itself, giving an insight to life in this world of perpetual conflict. Let's quickly do this. Anyway. The stories are written by developer Matt. There are currently 3 stories available, with more being in the works. Oh. There are now... Yeah, there's still 3 stories. The first 2 have 3 chapters, and third one has 6. Interesting. The tower. The tower follows the two fresh trained soldiers, Han and Astrid, as as they arrived at a base at the far mountains of Nicknevin. Interesting. Content warning. A Chronicle of Ashes depicts scenes of violence and war. No kidding. The Tower, Chapter 1. The ride into Nicknevin was bumpy and cold, and none too luxurious for 2 days crammed in the back of an old farmer's truck. At least the scenery was a nice change from the craggy, barren coastline where Han, Thorson, and the other rookies had spent most of their lives. Fresh mountain air set the stage for vistas that stretched on as far as one could see. They'd even passed roving goat herds clinging to sheer cliffs and spotted hawks circling below the clouds. Interesting. For all that on wonder, Han couldn't shake the chill in her bones. Hana? How would you pronounce that? Hana? Han? Hana? Let's say Hana. Because it's spelled Hanne, and I don't know if it's just a European language being a European language, but like it could be pronounced Hana. At night, Hana and the others huddled together under moth-eaten wool blankets on a bed of damp hay, but weren't fooled into thinking sleep would come. The driver rarely stopped for a rest, only once at a checkpoint for fuel. They traveled so far north that the country had turned strange, too. The dark lasted forever. Any sense of hour or place slipped away as she drifted in and out of consciousness. The truck crawled to a halt. Hana snapped awake to the trickle of gravel dancing across rubber tires. Okay. Let's quickly take these bits of okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Submit to stockpile. Got 16. Okay. And now we get back to the lore for another almost 3 minutes. They arrived at a small recon station somewhere in the silts near the border of Falheim. For what she could see, the station seemed in dire need of repair, with a few rundown radio towers, a row of rusty barracks, and command tents. It wasn't exactly where she dreamt of apprenticing. Nonetheless, she was excited to begin training, and that rush of anticipation stirred her senses. She hopped off the back of the truck and followed her comrades. This might be the Wardens, because the Wardens do have a very Russian, USSR feel. The driver tossed the keys to a man covered in grease, who then lifted the hood, his face disappearing beneath it. A crew of muddy-wearing looking soldiers hopped onto the back of the truck like twisted reflections of the youths who'd only just arrived. No one had come to greet them. They had no real orders, and even the mechanic had little to say, only muttering to himself before slamming the hood and turning back to the barracks. So that's it then. Thanks for the chat, mate, said Magnus, a ratty youth with a wispy mustache. His fatigues were too big. Standing there, sulking, he resembled a gray pile of goo. I think the Wardens have gray outfits. I couldn't tell you exactly, though. Let's quickly look that up. Foxhole, Warden, suit color. Okay, so the Wardens dress in blue. Let's try the Colonials. Okay, so the Colonials dress in grayish green. So blue for Wardens, grayish green for the Colonials. Got it. So we're reading about the Colonials. So I was wrong. My fault. Let's quickly take these. Not making it too much better for myself. Can I? Okay, there we go. Okay, we're halfway there. Don't know how many more B mats we have left to use for this. Might have to park and lock my mule at the seaport so that I can actually get the whole blood plasma order done in one fell swoop. Anyhow, quickly pull that up so we see how much time's left. Oh, because there's two other things queued, so we have the time. Okay. Should we head for the barracks? Said Astrid, a tall, freckled girl. Follow the driver, yeah? Surely they mean to feed us. Don't you think we'll be reprimanded if we're someplace we're not supposed to be? Hannah said. That's how it was at the camps, right? They don't care if we're ignorant. Don't know about the pair of you, but I don't mean to spend my novitiate years scrubbing latrines. But the rat boys started. Astrid stepped up to Magnus, getting in his face. You know what happened when they start you with the cleaning shit? Interesting. Interesting. Read that without thinking. Okay. You know what happens when they start you with cleaning stuff? She looked him up and down, put a cigarette in her mouth, and lit it with a match. You'll always clean their stuff. And soon you will clean their crap. And soon everyone will see you as you are, a steaming pile of crap. Is that what you are, Magnus? Well, I mean, what kind of question is that? No. Good, idiot. So, sit down, shut up, and wait for orders, Hannah said. The others chuckled under their breath as Astrid blew smoke in his face. So far, feeling a lot like World War I, World War II. Like, a lot like it. I've been streaming for over 2 hours. A little over 2 hours. I am going to quickly use the bathroom. I shall be back momentarily. I come back. I have food. I have Gadow. And my stuff's done. Yeah, I'm going to play Serialum sometime this week. I just wanted to play Foxhole because I've been kind of addicted to it recently. Uh, eh. And also, it's a $30 game. If I'm going to get a $30 game, I'm gonna have to play it. I forgot to do that thing where I take the thing out of the thing and put it in the other thing. Gonna hop, 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 hop. Ah. How have I been? I have been okay. Um, if you didn't see by the chat messages, you showed up, which was very nice. Um, I got through explaining to him that I quit my job at Walmart, and leading up to that, oh hello. Don't mind that. That was just my brother peeking in. Um. Oh. 1 second. Could be. Yep. 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 Bruh. You could have just asked me to move it.
Oh, sorry, I was in the middle of something, so you can go ahead and move it.
Yeah, I was making a blood plasma order.
Alright, you good, man.
So I have half of the blood plasma order, I think. This is frustrating. So, emotes are number bar? Interesting. Anyway, as I was saying, um, I, I took, I kind of took the week last week to get ready to quit my job and just disassociate myself a little bit, so I could just get through the week, my last week. So yeah, that was fun. But I have an interview lined up at Staples, so I will hopefully be working at Staples here in a week and a half. Fingers crossed. Okay. Moved my truck. Gonna quickly flip this around. See if there's any more basic materials at the seaport. Just saying, Gato, before you showed up, I was just reading the lore for Foxhole out loud because I had nothing better to do, which was fun. Very very World War One, World War Two like. Yes, I'm stealing VMATs. I don't care.
The heat man. What do you want? Take from the ship. Ship is actually better because we're gonna leave very soon.
Is there an objective to this game? Well,
From the ship.
the overall objective is to win the war. It's a massively online game where each person has a part to play, but like you're a small cog in a large machine. If that makes sense. Like, think of it like a just a war simulator. It's two sides fighting each other, and the war takes place 24/7. Like it's nuts. It is. It is a really interesting concept. And it executes it pretty well, considering all things. Like, it's top down, but like, as I was explaining to, you know, you, I, I'm thinking of like the what's the bit? I don't remember the movie, but I am who? That bit. Yeah, Hermit. Let's refer to him as Hermit. Yeah, let's do that. That's gonna make it a whole lot easier for both of us. Who's on first is whatever. Yeah, yep. Who's on first is another good example. Oh dear. Gotta get out of the way of this truck. Anyway, as I was explaining to Hermit, this game has, in the current war we're in, which is war, I think, 126, I do not remember, there's like over 600,000 players registered, not active. So like, it could be closer to 300,000 at this point, and that's not counting any alternate accounts that are kind of doing the cheat, if you know what I'm saying. And right now, I'm doing a logistical run for blood plasma. Because someone needs 40, the regiment I'm currently in needs 40 crates of blood plasma. Because, you know, a war on many fronts cannot be won by bread and water alone. No one's ever said that, but I'm making it official. It's a saying now. I was extremely hungry. Glad we had that mac and cheese. Well, here's the map. Here's the side that I'm on. That's the opposing side. I should probably turn off all of these markers real quick. Like, currently, there's like the most active war zone right now is here because it is like the very middle of the map, and if you have this, you control a lot of the supply over here, 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 and there. And also the heartlands are being taken out by the opposing team because if you're near Sableport, you have massive control over the water over here. So yeah, that's fun. I think this one, like, what is this? This region is not active in the current war, so it could be active in another war. Like, these areas could be active in another war. These areas could be active in another war. Like, everywhere's technically a combat zone, but if you're far enough back, you won't be able to see the combat. You'll just be moving supplies and stuff. But typically you have to take stuff from back here over to like here where the front line is. And right now I'm on the side that's winning, not by much, but we are still winning. It is proving to be a monumental task. And doing this entire Logi run by myself is boring. I'm gonna be honest. It is boring. I need just a little more plasma, and that'll be the last of that Logi run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start. I'm gonna quickly look at the Discord that I'm in for this and see what we're looking at. Heavens. They're doing some extreme building crowding. Oh. What's also nice is the faction I'm in has an active Discord that I've already pointed out, and they do training in this game. They do there's almost always someone in VC to explain what's going on or what to do or yada yada yada. It is a fun game, but like it gets tiresome to play for more than like 3 hours at a time because what you can do in like 3 hours time can be quite minuscule in the grand scheme of things unless you have a group of people that you're currently working with. And I just like doing things by myself because it gives me that little hit of dopamine of a job that has been finished by myself. Be right back. Okay. Quickly 2, 3, 4. I need 4 more exactly. Yes, that's annoying. Make a crate of grenades real quick. Just so I have a place to use this. Going to quickly. Can I get this out of here? I'm going to drive this back to the seaport. Then quickly oh, there's no gas. That's not great. Guess I just gotta make the journey to Baron's home, I think. Yeah, Baron's home with like half a tank of gas. Oh. $15 seconds left with this. Walk this over. It's 40. Let's quickly oh. Forgot to package the shipping container, as I'm going to probably do several hundred more times. Package. I'll probably become a veteran at this game and still forget to package shipping containers. Let's move this back to where it belongs. Deploy and get out. Okay. Shoulder burning. now we have to take all this blood plasma down to Baron's home so that I can put it in the stockpile for the regiment. Because completing orders is what I'm good at. Time to go across, I think this is the drawbridge. Yeah, this is a drawbridge. And it's down, as it should be. There should probably be someone posting the bridges at all times to make sure that only people on our side are going through. Because we've had to blow up a couple of ships that were not ours. Which was fun. I didn't help partake very much. I just shot at it with my pistol that I had, but the only other guy that was there only had like a rifle and he blew up their cargo, but not the ship, but like better than nothing. Watch the VOD of my Bible study. Interesting. I thought I was rambling a little bit with that. It's why I didn't really upload it to YouTube, and I'm just like, I'll sit on it. But like, I'm gonna try to do those at least twice a month. But I do need like active input on like, okay, am I making sense, you know? Like, there's just always that fear of you're not being understood of what you're trying to communicate, you know? Because I don't want to miscommunicate anything. And frankly, starting in Genesis is just an easy place to start, but also one of the hardest places to start at the same time, because it deals with things that people nowadays just completely skew. Like, entirely. Which is why I brought up the point of people will take things out of context in a lot of places in the Bible, but not very many places in Genesis, because it lays the groundwork of how God designed the world to be made. I took a wrong turn. Really? Okay. I did find it interesting. I did find one thing odd, though. It seemed like you're opposed to the idea of the Big Bang Theory when it's a theory that was originally fought against by unbelievers because it aligns well with biblical teaching, that there was a beginning to the universe. Well, like I said, it's less the Big Bang Theory and more like God said, and bang, it happened, you know? because there's something very important in the fact that God took nothing and made something, you know? I don't know how to get that point across very effectively, because it's not something that can really be put into words. Dang it. Well, sure, it's not something anyone else could do. Yeah, you aren't wrong. Nah. I don't think it was ever truly to be understood, because if God wanted to be understood, he would have made it easy to understand. Because, like, we technically have the ability to, we kind of do, just rearrange, combine things to create something new, but we don't create in the way God creates. Yeah. That was exactly what I was going to bring up. We can technically do that on, like, a very fundamental level. Like, an idea can pop into our heads, and that's technically something from nothing, but it's not really truly from nothing. It comes from the void of our minds, and, like, that's about it. I am really struggling. Gracious. Okay. I guess that's why, I think that's why there's such an importance of being sober-minded, because a thought can enter our head that comes from nothing, but it can turn into something very quickly if we put it into action. And that's something I've had to keep in the back of my head ever since, I've been trying to be sober, and that's very difficult. Because I technically thought some things into existence for myself, and it was, needless to say, not the greatest of things. And it frankly scares me just how creative I can get with the just nonsense I can generate. But that is both a wonder and a kind of a curse of the human mind. It can create and it can destroy. Both others and itself. And I've learned if I am not careful, I can be incredibly destructive. There is one argument about sober-mindedness that I can kind of bring up, and it's like, I never thought of it like that. I decided earlier this year to read the Bible from front to end. You're most of the way through the book of Numbers. Yeah. The Pentateuch is a hard section of the Bible to kind of get through and understand. So, like, I don't blame you for struggling a wee. Because, like, took a break partway through Numbers. I'm particularly bad at keeping up with narratives, was feeling lost in that book. Okay. That's fair. However, when it comes down to it, I love the Pentateuch because of the story it tells. And also just the insane amount of groundwork that God has to lay out for the Israelites. Because he gave them the 10 Commandments, and they immediately broke them. So it's just like, okay, how about we take these 10 Commandments and make it to where I can explain exactly how wrong it can go. Whoa, spoiler alert. It's not... I'm not saying exactly what. I'm just saying that it's a breakdown of a lot of rules. It's just a lot of rules. Second, I gotta quickly. There we go. Gotta go see if I can find O-Drag. Anyway. I know I passed him. We're going through Psalms. So the books of poetry are, if you want to worry about like different narratives, go to Ecclesiastes. That book is, it's hard to keep up with everything because it's just a lot of anecdotes, so to speak. It is Solomon we're talking about, and it just sounds like the ramblings of a very, very, very depressed man who has far too much knowledge and no one that quite understands it. But it's also some of the best advice that some people will ever hear. Because, like, nowadays we can just kind of have a bunch of people come together and try to, like, brainstorm it. Like, brainstorm pieces together. And as difficult as that might be sometimes, it can work. Sometimes. Let's make sure we... Okay, let's unlock this. But I feel like you'll find Psalms very fulfilling, because it is a good book if you're looking for comfort in almost any scenario. It's like the first few of them were, well, a lot of them were written by David, but the first few were particularly written around the time where David was escaping Absalom, I think? I don't quite remember. But a lot of them are just like, free me from my enemies and stuff like that. Which I'm sure you've already figured that out, since you are already part way through it, from what I gather. Goodness gravy. Ugh. Well, going to move it to there so that I can are you still so dull? Jesus asked them. Yeah. Yeah. Are you still so dull? I expect him to say this to me when I meet him in the afterlife. You don't know that, but I mean, we all have our shortcomings. I'll say that much. I I don't know what God's gonna say to me at Heaven's Gate, other than you tried, kid. You tried really hard. And frankly, that's kind of what I do want to hear. Just say, hey, did your best. Am I heading off for the night? No, I'm just gonna sit here and talk because I need to stop playing Foxhole. I've been playing for like 2 hours, almost three, and I just want to sit down and unwind for a few minutes before I hit the end stream button. Because frankly, talking about the Bible is quite fulfilling for me. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm the most learned guy, but I certainly have read and listened to a lot of it in my younger years. I need to be reading it more now, but I find myself often getting quite distracted by other things. But if this doesn't put things into perspective, one thing, well, there's several verses I have to keep in my head. Like I held up three, but it's numerous. Like do not be anxious through prayer and petition, and a couple other things. I forgot what they were. Send your request up to God. Take whatever you're dealing with, give it to Him. Be ye sober minded, for the devil is a roaring lion looking for essentially a soul to steal. I'm not good at referencing things word for word or where they're referenced, but I'm good at getting pretty close, summarizing them. Like, I struggle to be calm and keep my head about me, and to know that I'm not the only one to deal with this. I don't think it has to be verbatim to catch the meaning and be applied to your life. Fair, but you gotta make sure that you're not, like, completely changing the meaning of it. Because, like, wording is key when it comes down to things. Because, sure, there's a couple of phrases that are definitely repeated throughout the entirety of the Bible, but you gotta make sure that it's not one of those situations. And you're not completely skewing what the original writer's intent was. And for me, I'm very paranoid about that, so I try to make sure I get as close to verbatim as possible, but making sure it's understandable, if that makes sense. Oh, what's another one I need to keep in my head? Do not let the sun go down on your anger. I don't remember the full quote for that, but I know the meaning of it. Because if you do not resolve what is making this anger well up in you, you will go to bed, think about it more, and anger will go from anger to rage to bitterness, and then you'll never be able to forgive it. But you also have to worry about time and place. Because are you in any way? Do you struggle with anger at all? All the freaking time. All the freaking time. I probably have some strange anger problem. I don't know what it is, but if something is bothering me, I get very outspoken. And, like, I don't even realize it, but usually I raise my voice quite drastically, and I'm practically shouting at people when I'm not able to, like, keep it in check. Like, you could just say that I just overreact to things, but I also just spark to anger very quickly. Like, I am kindling. It is so fast. But, like, I can calm down real quick, too. I just get angry quickly, and that usually brushes people the wrong way, and I gotta keep that in control. Because sometimes the anger can be... It could be for a very legitimate reason, and if I don't resolve it, it will just sit with me. And I have to take care of it as quickly as possible, or else I'm never going to be able to deal with it. Just plain and simple. Frankly, anger is not the only thing I struggle with. Anxiety, paranoia. Like, it's a very annoying cocktail. We all have different sins we struggle with. Yeah. 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 We really do. We really do. Oh. Is there anything that you're particularly struggling with at the moment that you'd like to share, or just don't want to be talking about myself all the time because that makes me seem like I'm pompous, and I don't want to come off that way. Yeah, that's if you don't mind me asking, are you in your 20s or 30s? Like, what range are we talking here? Because if you're about my age, like 20, I understand that completely. You're in your 30s. Okay. So, I don't understand it quite at your level and what you've gone through, but all I know is that for all intents and purposes, in the Webster's Dictionary version of the word virgin, I am indeed that. If we're to go by the biblical standard, no. Definitely not. And let's just say in the past, like, about 2 months now at this point, I have been struggling with kicking old habits. That's all I'm going to say. It is incredibly difficult. Incredibly. And I know it's something that I probably deal with all my life. Because some things that you do to your brain cannot be undone. I have ebbs and flows, I suppose. I can feel like I've conquered for months, then sliding in. Yeah, yeah. For me, it's a day-by-day basis. But I know eventually I'll probably, hopefully, get better at managing that part of me. But I know it's going to take years. Years. Because it's not as simple as that. Ugh. Takes a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. I think surrender to God is important as well. I think we all struggle with that aspect as humans have some form of ego. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we all have ego. It's just which way does it slide? Is it self-honoring or self-destructive. Because, like, when it comes to, like, psychiatric stuff, the ego is, like, I think, it's the baseline of what your subconscious does to your conscious. And you can have, like, one that glorifies itself extremely, or one that just hates itself extremely. And everyone falls between those two extremes, whether they be on the extreme or in the middle, or along that line. You get the idea. But, and I'm no psychologist, but I'm pretty sure I fell on the more self-destructive end of things because I had no self-confidence, no self-worth. I, frankly, I have a hobby knife, right? Not only would I use it to cut Warhammer figurines out of the sprue, but I now have several places on my body that I can't get rid of. Gonna keep it at that. It's rough. And from that self-destructive mindset, my entire perception of pain was altered. And it took a lot of just focusing on knowing that pain is pain. And that should be the end of it. It should be an indicator of something hurts. Stop. Because, like, for a long time, for me, I was extremely masochistic. Pain was pleasure. And now, like, now that most of the mind-altering drugs that were in my body are now out of my body, pain is now pain in a majority of areas. My head has, I've headbutted a lot of things in the past, so, like, that's a pretty hard spot. I don't really feel pain there anymore. My knuckles are another pretty bad spot. I feel practically nothing. Like, nothing at all. Like, if you look at my knuckles, they are pretty big because of just the amount of things I punched. I've often bruised them pretty badly. Suffer with depression, but never related to self-destructive behavior. Sorry. Yeah. I had to go through it because that was just the only... I could only learn things the hard way, apparently. There's no two ways about it. But I've also learned that that's not the best way to do things. So I have to just, step up my game a little bit. And just think about the, what A plus B equals. Like, what's going to be the outcome of this? And as I've stated, it's kind of hard for me to do that. But I'm just glad that I no longer hurt myself the way I used to. I'm glad I can be free of that. Not have the want to hurt myself in such a drastic way. Usually it's pretty hard for me to talk about this, but it's coming out quite easily. I don't know why, it's just... Some's telling me, hey, you should probably talk about this. Stay sober-minded, do edifying things like getting close to the Bible, believing Christians, Bible studies, etc. I'm sure I'm sure to keep you on the straight and narrow. Believe me, I have one particular person that checks on me throughout the week to make sure I'm doing okay, who I often talk to while I'm at church. Very, very, very good guy. great Christian. He came to it a lot later in life than I did, but he understands just the freedom that it gave him, because he could go from where he was as far in like his life that he was, and freedom. And he told me something that I didn't really think about. You can accept Christ at a very young age, but you don't really take hold of it until you've reached like adulthood, to where you're either going to stay on that path or you're going to deviate from it. And often those who deviate in the teenage years will come back, as long as they're still surrounded by people that care about them. But if they should make that decision to completely stray off the path, there's almost no way of them coming back, except by a miracle, which happened to me. And I'm glad for it. Sure, the withdrawal sucks, but mentally, I've never felt better. There will be many prodigal sons in heaven, I believe. Sounds like both of us are. I was an atheist for 10 plus years of my life. It came back to Christ several years later. I hate to be that guy, but college kid, I only say that because a lot of the people that I know that go to college are incredibly atheist. Because they're mostly taught, like, the only person that can fulfill what you want is you. And it's just like... It's hard to explain how God works to people that don't understand how God works, so to speak. Everyone's got to experience it in their own way. The height. Okay, the height of my atheism was in college years, yeah. I was vaguely an atheist in most high school, but less explicit at that time. Fair. Like I said, most of the people I've known that have gone to college are incredibly atheist. Because of just the amount of, one, agnosticism, like, I don't know that there is a God, and just flat out, there is no God in the science world, so to speak. Even though there are a lot of things in the science world that you could point to that's like, that's not by chance, bro. Like, there's no other way of putting it. But you can't make people see that. They have to see it for themselves. Funny thing is, college is what brought me back to the road to Christ. I have a philosophy course that introduced arguments for God. I remember being surprised at how thought out they were. Yep, have had. Close enough. But, like, philosophy is a great way to argue for God. Like, as many-sided as philosophy can be, it can be a great way to come to Christ. Real thing you gotta worry about with, like, philosophy and stuff is arguing about the semantics. Because there'll always be someone who'd be like, oh, you could take it like this, you could take it like this, you could take it like this. And it's just like... Sometimes there are questions that only have one very, very, very specific answer. Even as something as broad as philosophy. And I'm not going to say I'm an expert in that field, because I'm not. But I know enough that it's just like... Philosophy is dipping into many buckets to solve one question. I first became a deist, then I read the Gospels and was floored by the character of Jesus to me. It was pretty obvious who he claimed to be. There's no other human like him. Yeah. Because he was fully human, fully God. God in flesh. And that often confuses people, which often has, like, such as, like, in several beliefs, there is, Jesus was just a really great guy. And she's like, yeah, Jesus was a really great guy who was also God. Like, explaining that part's difficult. But, like, what... There's no way for someone in that time to get the knowledge he had from nowhere. Because, like, he was on a level, like, at 12, where he would be, he was literally talking with priests, and they were baffled. Like, it's crazy to me. And he wasn't an argumentative jerk. He was just like, well, what? This is how this is. This is how this is. What's your opinion? Okay. How about we take it like this? And no, the only people that really got mad at him during his let's say career in his 30s were the people that benefited from the lies that they told, such as the tax collectors, the some of the priests, the Sadducees, the Pharisees, people like that. To where it kind of turned into a Catholic Church scenario where they didn't want the Word of God translated into English because no one understood Latin, and if no one could understand the Bible, they could say it and spin it however they wanted. And it's just like, that's not right. But on a slightly different topic, I am going to be going to Uprise Fest this Friday, so I will not be streaming Friday. And maybe I'll stream Saturday. I don't know. Depends on how tired I am. But hopefully, I'll be able to stream. But right now, it's 8:27. I've been streaming for like 3 hours. I need to figure out how to get this and the Bible study VOD uploaded to YouTube. And then I'll probably go to bed because I've been tired all day from not having to go to work. Gonna quickly